Here's the question I'm going to answer by showing you the steps. How can I transfer the entire data of my Google account to another? Now, I'm going to show you in the context of free Gmail. If you have Google Workspace, then you can work with the domain administrator to transfer your drive, your calendar, your contacts, maybe even other data as well over to another user in that Google domain. Now, stuff like Blogger and YouTube, you may have to add another user to that product. In YouTube, you have to add another manager, and then you have to elevate that manager up to an owner. It's a different process. But in the context of Drive, Calendar, and Contacts, I'm going to show you how to do this with free Gmail. Here I am in free Gmail, and these are I'll hide the email addresses and phone numbers, but they're all made up accounts. Now, I want to export these contacts to someone else. This is how you do that. Now, I could say select the contacts here, but it's even easier. So I'm going to go to the three dots, but before I can find the feature under the three dots, I've got to select at least one contact. Select one contact, hit the three dots, and now I hit export. So I can say export to selected, or I can say export all the contacts, frequently used, etc., etc. I'm going to go with all. So I want to export all. Now, where do I want to put them? In a Google, comma separated, an Outlook, or a vCard. I'm going to put them in a Google, comma separated values. I'm going to hit export. Now, I've exported out those contacts. Now, the next step is, this is what the other person is going to do. Let me show you what the other person is going to do. So in their contacts, Google contacts, they're going to hit import, go select the file, and I'm going to go get the file. Here it is here, contacts 1. I'm going to hit open. Now I probably want to put a label, so let me create a new label. Let's call this, testing, just so I know where it's at. Hit save. Now I've labeled them, I've selected my list, and now what I can do is hit import. It's importing, and it's only got 10, shouldn't take too long, and it's done. So it imported them, and here's a couple things that happened. Number one, I got the data exactly like I expect. Number two, it created a label called imported on 612, and it put them in that label. And the other thing it did is, yes, it created my label called testing. But all the Google contacts that were in the other Gmail account are now in here. And by the way, if I didn't want them, I can select one, then I can say select, I can select all of these 10, and I can delete these, or I can simply do this. I can delete the imported, and when I delete the import, I can keep the contacts or delete the contacts, and boom, I make them all go away. What it doesn't do, though, is it doesn't get rid of the extra labels it created. That's contacts. Those are the steps to export out and import out contacts for another account. Let's do the same thing for the Google Calendar in this account. I want to export it out and import it into the calendar for the other Gmail account. The way you do that is you go to the calendar you want to export, hit the three dots, go to settings and sharing. You want to make sure you're looking at the Google Calendar you want to export here, not general. If you're up here in general and you use export up here, it's going to export out everything. But if you go to the specific calendar, then under the specific calendar, export is just going to export out this. So hit export, and it's going to export out all of the Google Calendar entries, and it's already done it. It's already in my Google Drive. Let me go look at it. Excuse me, it's already in my computer. It exports it out as a zip file, so I have to double click on it. Now, by the way, if I would have exported out more than one calendar, it would have had more than one ICS file. Well, all I'm after is this individual one ICS file. So I've exported it out, and I've exploded the zip to get the ICS file. Now go to the next Gmail account that you want to import it into, go to Calendar, and in Calendar, go to the calendar you want to import it in, hit the three dots, settings and sharing, there's import right there. When I hit import, it's going to say, what file do I want to import? I got to go to downloads, there's that ICS file, hit open. where I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it in TLB old, and I'm going to hit import. And there's 32 of the 37 entries I can import. There are other entries in there that may be added by someone else who has permission to put in that calendar. 32 of those entries belong to, in that case, burrisconsulting@gmail.com. Hit OK. I'm done. Go back. Hit refresh. And there you can see there's a meet with Bob here and a meet with Bill there, which pretty much aligns with the content that was in the other Gmail calendar, again, that belonged to burrisconsulting@gmail.com. That's how you export out a calendar. That's how you import a calendar into someone else's calendar. Unfortunately, by the way, there's no way to bulk delete these. If I didn't want to import them in this calendar, I'm going to have to delete them one at a time. A little bit tedious, but hopefully you're importing them into the right calendar. In summary, those are the steps you use to export out free Gmail contacts, calendar, and Drive. I do not, again, I do not have a process for exporting out your email and moving that old email inbound and sent items to another user. It often is not something that we want to do anyway. But there could be an app out there somewhere that can do it. I don't believe there's a feature within Gmail to do that. In regards to existing mail, new mail, you can set up forwards and have forwards forwarded to people, and it works pretty easily. And again, in the context of YouTube, AdSense, Google Alerts, Google Trends, and the other Google products. You're going to have to look at each of those Google products if you're using them and you want that data to be given to someone else. You have to look at each one of those products to find the process for doing that. I know with YouTube, you can add another manager and then you can transfer ownership to that manager after you add that manager. It'll basically move the YouTube channel or move ownership from one Gmail account to another. A little tedious, but that's built into YouTube and YouTube permissions. Again, this is the process for Drive, Calendar, and Contacts. Hey, I'm Teddy, your Google Workspace and Gmail guy. I hope this has been helpful for you.